So, medications like Ozempic and Wegovy have been absolute game changers for so many people. But, the conversation around the rare eye risks can get, well, pretty confusing. This explainer is all about cutting right through that noise. We're not here to scare you. We're here to give you a clear, simple, and frankly, urgent action plan.
I think we've all been there, right? This is such a common thought. You figure, hey, if my vision gets a little weird, I'll notice it over time. It'll be slow, I'll have plenty of time to make an appointment and get it sorted out. It just doesn't feel like an emergency.
And this is the question that changes absolutely everything. What if some types of vision loss just don't play by those rules? What if they don't give you that nice, gentle warning? And what if your window to do something about it isn't weeks, but maybe just hours? That's exactly what we need to get into. Okay, so let's be really clear about this. The point here isn't to fixate on the side effect itself. The real focus is on timing. Smart, careful people like you, often do that little wait-and-see dance. You don't want to overreact, right? But in this very specific situation, hesitation is just the wrong move. Our goal today is to replace that instinct with a fast, confident plan. All right, first up, let's actually understand what we're talking about. We're going to demystify the medical issue at the heart of all this.
Whoa, okay, that is a mouthful. NAION. It sounds incredibly complicated, and to be honest, it is. But here's the good news. You don't need a medical degree to get the big idea here. So let's break it down into something that actually makes sense.
And there it is. This is the perfect way to think about it. Imagine your optic nerve is like the super important cable connecting your eyeball to your brain. NAION is basically what happens when the blood flow to the front of that cable gets choked off. Just like a stroke in the brain, it's a blood flow emergency, and that means damage can happen, and it can happen fast. And that brings us to maybe the single most important number in this entire explainer, 24. For this kind of injury, where blood flow is the problem, those first 24 hours are absolutely everything. That's your critical window to get evaluated. We're talking hours, not days. Okay, Section 2. Signs and risk factors. Now that we know what the problem actually is, let's get into exactly what you should be looking for and, just as important, who needs to be paying the closest attention. Now take a really good look at how specific these signs are. We're not talking about some vague, I think my vision is a little blurry today kind of thing. The key words here are sudden, new, and painless. A fixed shadow that you can't blink away, or feeling like your vision is cropped. Those are huge signals. And that one about waking up with worse vision, that's a classic sign that doctors take very, very seriously. This right here, this is the mental trap. It is so easy to write off a new symptom and just say, I'm probably just tired. But look at the difference. The blur you get from being tired is usually hazy. It kind of comes and goes, and it gets better if you rest. An urgent warning sign is a fixed problem. A piece of your vision is literally missing, and it's not coming back. That has to be treated like an emergency until a doctor tells you it's not. So who's at a higher risk for this? Well, it's not like a simple on or off switch. A much better way to think about it is like stacking blocks. Each risk factor is one more block in the tower. The higher that tower gets, the more careful you need to be. And here are the main blocks. Things like age, diabetes, and high blood pressure are pretty common. But look at the others. Sleep apnea is a really big one because of what it can do to your blood pressure and oxygen levels overnight. And that last one, a crowded optic disc, that's something your eye doctor can see during an exam. It just means your anatomy makes that nerve a little more vulnerable. If you're ticking off 2 or more of these boxes, you're in that higher caution group that really needs a plan. Section 3, your emergency action plan. Okay, this is the most important part. We get the problem, we know the signs. Now let's build the actual practical step-by-step plan you can use starting today. Please, just let this one sink in for a second. You do not need to be 100% sure that you have NAION. You're not the doctor. Your one and only job is to spot a serious pattern and get help fast. This mindset is what gives you permission to act without second-guessing yourself. This is your script for a moment that could be really stressful. It's just 4 simple steps. 1, check each eye by itself to confirm what's going on. 2, get your med list ready. Seriously, a photo on your phone is perfect. 3, and this is so key, when you call for help, use that exact phrase, I have sudden, painless vision change in one eye. That's like the magic password that gets you on the right track. And finally, number 4, tell them about any other head or jaw pain so they can rule other stuff out. And to make that prepare step even easier, here you go, a checklist. Think of this as your emergency go bag for your vision. Having this info ready to go, especially your semaglutide dose, your blood pressure history, and your sleep history, it saves so much time and helps the doctors make the right calls faster. You could literally fill this out right after watching this and just save it on your phone. And finally, Section 4, prepared, not panicked. Let's pull all this together and land in a place of control, not fear. This is so important. For many people, semaglutide is profoundly beneficial. And here's the thing, strong benefits and rare risks can both be true at the same time. The answer isn't to fear the medication. It's to create a smart plan that respects both of those realities. What you need is a pre-written strategy that you launch the second a specific symptom shows up. So, look, if you walk away with nothing else, please remember this simple 3-point rule. First, sudden, painless, and one eye. That combination is always your signal to act. Second, a fixed shadow is not fatigue. It is not a wait-and-see situation. And third, always have that medication and risk factor list ready to go. And we'll just end on this thought. You have a kit in your car for a flat tire that you hope you never get, right? This is exactly the same thing. Everything you've just learned, the warning signs, the risk factors, that 4-step plan, that's your emergency kit for your eyes. So take 5 minutes when this is over. Put your kit together. It's truly the best thing you can do to protect your health and your peace of mind.